Alrighty. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Oceanic Legends, where I talk to absolute legends from the region. And today I've got a very special guest here, and his name is Greg Kayze, and he is the best, just the best person in this planet, this whole world. I can't even begin to tell you about Greg or Kays or just the absolute legend that he is. Yeah, welcome.
Thanks, man. It's really good to be here and sort of have a platform to share my breadth and my wealth of knowledge inside and outside the gaming industry. So yeah, man, like it's really good to be here, and I'm really happy I can share my ideas and my thoughts and philosophies and stuff with yourself and everyone that's listening. So
Yeah,
yeah, awesome, man.
cool. Man, like where the hell do we even start? Like what
2011.
what encompasses Kays? Where do you even come from? Like who are you? Like who is
Yeah,
he?
yeah, right. Well, I guess we can talk about a gaming background first. I was seeing it's the gaming podcast.
It is.
Um,
It could be anything though, really.
so it all began in 2006, and I
Mm,
was in grade six
mm.
then, so 12 years old, with good old Maple Story. So that was my first
Oh,
ever.
Maple Story?
It was my first ever real game outside of like Crash Bandicoot and shit like that.
Yeah, 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 okay.
Um, so that was really fun. I got my account hacked like 3 times every time I hit level 30, which was
Nice.
really hard back then. But I think it was my fault for giving my friend my password so I can get cool shit from him. Um,
Oh, you were sharing
Yeah,
accounts? Kind
like
of
three
like,
times, and then I kept getting hacked. Then I realized like maybe he's not my friend.
damn, wait, how would he like hack you? Would he just
Like,
take your
well, he
shit?
just changed my password and my email and take all my shit.
And he did it
Like,
3 times?
yeah, man. Like, I guess it's a bit of a learning curve for me
Yeah, yeah,
as a
yeah, yeah,
gamer.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I've definitely never shared my password since. So
Yeah,
just a
I
disclaimer
guess.
to all. A disclaimer to all: do not share your password. And I mean, you got a bit of knowledge about account sharing yourself,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
you, Osa?
Yeah, yeah, account sharing and stuff like that, knowing
Yeah,
other
who
people's
does that?
passwords. Oh my god, yeah, who does that? Fuck. I mean, I
Yeah,
think I think everyone needs like one of those experiences where they
yeah,
learn the
definitely.
cold hard truth. I think I had that in RuneScape where I gave my password to someone saying that they were a Jagex staff and
Yeah, nice.
they took my account and I was like, fuck. I ended up
That's
getting it back though, so
yeah. That lucky you. I
that was
never got
alright.
anything back, so I just started again
Fuck.
3 times. Yeah. So,
God damn.
what after that? After that stint,
Yeah.
we started getting into high school, and maybe around 2008, 2009, I got
Yeah.
into World of Warcraft, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
where you and I met.
Oh shit, that's where we fucking met back
We
in the
met
day.
outside of Algrim, I believe,
Oh my
dueling.
god, Orgrimmar. Yeah, we were just fucking were you were you a mage at that point? Because
No, you were a
so
mage.
I was a mage, but I
I
was
was
looking.
also a mage.
You had a bunch of different
Yeah, I
turns,
had like
didn't you?
5 turns. But the
Yeah.
mages, we used to do arena,
Yeah.
and it was when that frost thing you could stack it or whatever, so you could
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
pop out
yeah.
and one shot someone.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was
I think I wanted to do a 5 mage arena team, and
yeah,
I was looking
just to
for
one shot
mages.
everyone,
And I think the team was called Duck Sauce or something like that. Something
something like
edgy
that.
and
Isn't
really,
that like
really
a
cool.
band now? I feel like they're a band.
I think it was like
Maybe that's
this.
Peking Duck.
You know, it was like the song maybe I'm not saying it too right. It's like a
No,
Barbara Streisand. Barbara
oh
Streisand.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yes, that's the one.
Were they? Is it was the?
Woo!
Yeah, it was like the. Wasn't the song called Duck Sauce or the band was
Nah,
called Duck
the
Sauce or something
DJs or
like that?
whatever made it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah, I think it
you
was
got the
like a
money.
meme. All right, cool, 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 cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
So what after that we that's when we started getting into league seriously.
yeah,
Um
yeah. You were like, hey, do you play League? And I was like, yeah, I play League. Want to play League?
that's
Just
it. We
started
started playing
playing
league
League.
and
Yeah.
put all the boys on, and it ended. That's where the 5 a.m. nights and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the grades started falling.
yeah.
Um, but it was a good time where we had it, and we had like 5 people every night, 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Go to school at 9, like just real fucked up shit. So that was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
And
That was very fun.
out of everyone, Ozza, you were the only one to excel. Um, beyond expectation. So
Yeah,
kudos
yeah,
to you, my
yeah.
friend.
I mean, even though I didn't go as far as I'd hoped, but I definitely did did give it a try.
Yeah, man.
I'd always really hoped that I could find like a team to play and like that dream of like it's a bunch of five people, we're all
Mm.
friends, like we all enjoy the game, we're all passionate about it. Like I really found that with you guys. Like so you were jungle.
Yeah, Cam was
We
top.
had Cam, Turbulence top. We had
T4
Tambo,
mid.
T4 mid,
And
Frequency, and
Sammy's
Sammy's. Yeah,
support.
Sammy's the support. He was, oh yeah, fucking
Yeah,
Jana, Lulu, like supporter
that was
kind
the
of
dream team,
healer.
man.
That was the dream team. Had some land competitions as well.
Yeah, yeah. Remember we had that game and we walked around the corner to shake the team's hand, and there was
Yeah.
literally like a bunch of 10-year-olds and we're just like, yeah, whoa, shit
Get
up.
shit on! Oh
And
my
like this kid starts
god!
like
Like,
tearing up
yeah.
and shit, man.
I'm never playing this game again.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
fuck you guys.
That was a
Oh
good
man.
time.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think we got to Plat 1 promos and I did them with you
yeah,
and we lost
yeah.
because of that fucking cheat. I am
Oh,
Lou.
I am
Shout out.
Lou. Oh, and we found out he was a scripter.
Found out it was a
He is a
scripter, and that's how I lost my
scripter.
promos. And I never got back into the
Oh.
promos again after that. So
O-
never made it to Diamond.
Okay, so there was this one guy that Greg and I encountered among our duo queue experiences, and his name was I am Lou, and he was a Vayne one trick, I'm pretty
I was
sure.
playing Lucian that game. I remember,
Oh
man.
yeah, well, yeah, Lucian. Oh yeah, and he just dodged everything, and we were both
Everything.
we were both just like, whoa, you're so good at dodging, like, oh my god, like it's one of those things where you just see someone, you're just like, wow, you're actually really good. You can just see that they're good,
Mm.
and then he was like, yeah, yeah, I'm fucking good, and then eventually found out he was a filthy scripter,
Yeah, prick.
and yeah, he ruined he
He
ruined
ruined my
your yeah he
promos. He
ruined
ruined my
your
dream,
promo.
man. I
Yeah,
stopped after
yeah,
that pretty much.
yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
was like a
So I
big drop
never.
off.
It was a big drop off. So well, after that, you continued with League, and
Yeah,
I
went
sort of
separate ways. Yeah.
dabbled back and forth with League and
Mm.
World of Warcraft, and I was actually getting a bit more focused in my schooling because I was like actually failed a year of not a year semester
Yeah.
of my degree
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
purely because of gaming, like
Yeah.
purely
Yeah.
because of gaming. So I sort of after that I sort of like pulled my socks up and like I got to get my life and my shit together, and it's not really worth it. I mean,
Yep.
not like you that saw it out and really made it worth it, but I don't think I had that drive to like give up everything, man.
Yeah. Well,
And
no,
that's
that's
sort of
it.
what it was.
That's because it's really confronting. It's like, what's your like? That's something that I've recently had to deal with. Is like, what's like, is it worth it? Like, what's worth like investing all this time, this energy? Like, your emotions are always high, up and down. It's just like it's something that's based on like, it's outcome based, right?
Yeah, that's
The
right. Yeah.
victories, your success, and it's something that's very hard to actually pinpoint what's going well for you. Like, I'd say
Yeah.
that failing a semester is like that's like something that's very real. Like, I failed a bunch of classes at uni because of my gaming, because I was so invested in
Mm.
playing League. So
And yeah,
yeah,
and like at that age, you don't really feel the ramifications of it. But then you get to
yeah,
work a little bit later than the rest of the pack, and you
yeah,
get the
yeah,
pay
yeah,
rises a little bit later than the rest of the pack, and you really
yeah,
feel
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah,
in your 20s. So I'm lucky enough to be somewhere that has helped me excel my career quicker than usual.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, I
good.
could definitely see myself like fucking my whole life up because of
Yeah, that dream, right?
plat one, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
just like
Because of
that's it.
plat one.
That's it. You just fucking Lou, right?
Yeah, fuck Lou.
Um, well, yeah, that's one thing I'm interested in. Like, so if if there wasn't like life stuff outside of what League was, like, would you have like invested, like kept going with League? Do you think like with that same trajectory you would have kept pushing and like eventually broken through
Mm.
that like plat one barrier? Like once you hit diamond, then you kind of keep slowly progressing.
Yeah,
Um,
look, man, I don't know. I think I was too. I don't think my mind was right at that point of my life. I
mm,
think I was too immature to pursue a dream like that. Um,
mm.
like you said, we see the outcome. We see them on the podium with the trophies,
Yeah.
but I didn't. I never really saw the work. And like you lived through the work yourself.
Mm.
Um, So yeah, I don't know if I would have. Maybe I would have hit diamond and just sort of kept going as much as I could, but I would have
Yeah.
hit that plateau, and I don't think I would have known how to get myself past it.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I guess I had a bit more of a social life um, that coincided with gaming because I was up so late. I sort of
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
just melded it into the nightlife with everybody when I wasn't playing, and sort of met a few characters along the way. So I was still tossing up my social life, putting it second to gaming and my
Yeah, yeah.
education third. So I don't know. I don't think I would have made it that far, man. But I think I would have given it a decent crack if I didn't
Yeah.
pull out when I did. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like what I'm kind of coming to terms with is that, as much as I think I have a drive for competitiveness, and that gaming kind of industry, it's just
Mm.
I don't have the same amount of I don't know what it is, but it's like I don't want to invest the same amount of time grinding as I
Yeah. Yeah.
used to. It's like, I've just played 2 games today and I've just felt so uninspired and I don't know what it is. It's like maybe it's like because I don't have that same focus where I'm like I need to be at a professional level or something
Yeah.
where it's
You
like
almost feel
just
like you're wasting your time.
yeah, I did
Like
feel
when you
like I
play,
wasted my time.
you're like, shit, man, I wasted 2 hours of my day. I got
Yeah,
to
yeah,
work
yeah, yeah, yeah.
tomorrow, like for however long, and I've
Yeah.
given up 2 hours to losing with I am Lou. You know what I mean?
Just
So
like what the hell did I do today?
I think it's a very young dream, and
Yeah, it
I
has to
really
be.
do see if you are going to make it, it's got to be between 16 and maybe 21. Um,
Yeah.
I'd say maybe 24 if you're already almost there.
Mm.
But if you wanted to start from scratch day one, like though that age gap is where I see the sort of you maximizing your potential to by 24, for example,
Yeah,
being in
yeah.
the LCS or being in the OCL. What is it now? OPL,
OPL,
LCS.
yeah.
Yeah,
OPL, yeah. It's hard to justify
because
playing video
yeah,
games
you get more time.
professionally.
You get more
Yeah.
time as a kid,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's less
as a
responsibilities.
teenager, exactly. And
Yeah.
and like now, like I don't think I dream of starting the grind for that sort of career. Like no matter how
Yeah.
much I wanted it, I
Yeah,
just like I'm
yeah.
getting married next year, man. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't fit that
Congratulations.
in. Thank you.
It's like very
Yeah,
exciting.
I couldn't fit that into my lifestyle no matter how much I wanted it. But there's
Yeah,
other
yeah, yeah, yeah.
avenues. There's all the media around it, like this podcast right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
commentating, YouTube, satire sort of videos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
actually had a
Fun as
friend.
shit.
What's his name? Disco Heat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's actually moved out of League of Legends now, and he's
Okay,
he's
yeah,
he's, he's doing exclusively music videos now,
yeah,
or like
yeah.
is promoting like cool
Yeah,
music.
yeah. He was a DJ
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So
Mm.
so when I met him online, and we played together on League, and it was only after a few games he sort of said, "Oh,
Mm.
I've got a YouTube channel," and
Yeah, yeah.
so when I get this guy's YouTube channel, it had 150,000
Yeah,
subscribers. I'm like
yeah.
this, like, whoa, man, like you're a celeb, and I'm just like
Yeah,
here
yeah.
chilling. And I ended up meeting up with him actually in real life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he
When
was a
did you?
real cool guy. I'd say maybe 2013,
Yeah,
14.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's very like Mexican looking, pretty cool dude. I mean, he can look
Yeah,
like
no, he's
British,
very no, no, no. I know him. Very chill guy. I think I ended up bumping into him at I think it was All Stars, one of the All Stars
yeah,
event
yeah,
in Melbourne, because
yeah, probably.
I think he used to live in St Kilda,
He did. That's
which
where.
is
So when
yeah,
we first met, we ended up catching up, and I was like, "Oh, do you want to catch up and maybe go to a gaming lounge or something?" Where was that one we used to go to?
MC.
MC. Yeah, I was like, "Let's go to
Okay,
MC and
that's
play a
so
few games together,
dingy.
man." So it was like a random night. It was like 11 p.m. at night.
Yeah, yeah,
I think I had uni the next day. Who gives a fuck?
yeah. Who gives a fuck? Fuck uni.
And I drove to St Kilda, no traffic, because
Yeah,
it was like a Thursday. Picked him up from his place. So he told me where he lived. So
yeah.
that's don't do
Whoa!
that,
Oh my god!
guys.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So I picked him up and we went to MC for like 5 hours to play some league, and then I sort of dropped him off at home. And like that was the only time I saw him, but it was just pretty surreal that
Nice.
like you just meet someone online and it's like,
Yeah.
hey man, you want to hang out and like hope they're not a pedophile and that's it.
Yeah, no, I know. There was like a big thing surrounding like I guess because the internet was kind of still like new-ish, I
Mm,
guess, or like that kind of like competitive area or like the online kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, well, everyone's kind of normal. Like I'm not like I'm pretty normal. You're pretty normal.
Yeah,
Like this
yeah,
kid's
yeah.
normal. But it's like sometimes you kind of like because you
You get a
can't see
weirdo or
them.
two.
Yeah, like there are weirdos out there, but I guess you kind of have to look for the signs. It's like,
Yeah,
you're talking to Disco Heat, he's got 150,000 subscribers, stuff like that. Just, you can kind of tell if they're, a bit weird or not with
yeah,
how they talk
yeah.
as
I
well. I
think it's
guess it's
just
like,
like real life, dude.
yeah, you
Like
have to
if you think about
gauge who they are.
society now versus society like 20 years ago, like my
Yeah, yeah,
my mum, for instance, like she used to be out in the street when she was like 6 years old, man, like just playing all
yeah,
night, and like
yeah, 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 yeah.
everyone's kids used to be out, and now it's like don't go outside, you're gonna get fucking picked up and raped.
Yeah,
And it's like
holy
how like
shit.
I know it's a bad thing, and like
Yeah,
I condemn it, and like feel sorry for all the families that have ever gone through it, but
yeah, yeah,
it's not a common occurrence in society, but we've just
yeah,
been scared into believing it.
yeah, yeah. It's like this
And I think
looming fear.
yeah, and I think it's transcended to the internet.
Mm,
And it's definitely a good thing to have like conscious parents and children educated on the possible dangers of I guess the internet and speaking to strangers,
yeah, yeah,
especially in online games where the age bracket's going younger and younger.
yeah, yeah.
But I feel like it's really hard to make friendships now online, especially while I'm playing. If I, like I play World of Warcraft, for instance,
Mhm,
last year,
mhm.
and just for like 6 months, I don't think I spoke to anyone in the game, like apart from a randomly generated crew. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
whereas
okay, the
back in the
interactions.
day, like I mean, you and I have had a friendship for what, like nearly 10 years now, man,
Yeah, I
and that's
literally
all
just
just because of playing together.
yeah, we literally played some majors in arenas, and yeah, just like we have a massive history now together.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really weird how I sort of feel like that's died down now, and people are scared of each other, or even just scared of social situations
Yeah,
for some way. Yeah.
maybe.
Um,
Yeah,
and I think it stretches onto smartphone culture as well. Um,
yeah, yeah.
for instance, I have a friend, and if she ever listens to this, she's gonna
Mm.
know I'm talking about her.
Get
But I have
called
a
out.
friend who lives across the road from a like a fitness center, like a gym sort of place.
Okay.
And it's not like your main like Good Life or anything like that. It's just sort of an independently owned one.
Oh yeah, okay. It's not a
And
franchise or chain.
I picked her up and I said, "Do you train there? It's literally across the road from your house." And she's like, "Well, I sent them an email, but they never emailed me back." And I'm
Okay.
like, "Why don't you just go
Yeah,
in?"
just go in, right?
And she's like, "No, Greg, it's 2020. People don't do that."
Everything's online now, Greg.
Yeah,
Don't you hear? You can't get
everything's
jobs by
behind
walking
a
in, right?
yeah.
Or you
It's
can't
you don't
train,
have
can't
to
do
show
anything.
your face anymore, man. And
Yeah,
even phone
yeah,
calls,
yeah,
like
yeah.
phone calls, I don't get called up too often anymore. It's all written,
Yeah.
man. Like no one wants to just pick up the phone and organize shit.
Have you seen the
And
meme where people are like, "Don't call me because I'm not picking up"? Because
no,
it's
I
just
haven't seen
like
that one.
people like I've seen like quite a lot of people where they like share this meme and it's just like they want you to text them because they won't pick up a phone call because they don't want to phone call. Like
Yeah,
talking like
yeah,
what we're
okay.
doing is like it's like attention span or it's like I don't know what it is, but it's like you don't want to talk to people. You're afraid to
Yeah,
talk to
you're
people.
afraid to invest your time into one person. I feel
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
right now I've put my phone on silent
yeah,
and on do not disturb so I don't hear it vibrate. And
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm giving 150% to you.
yeah.
But
Fucking
a lot
no,
of people would
shit.
sit here with their phone on the
Yeah, and
desk
then just like,
and just like, yeah,
mm,
man, cool, yeah, cool.
oh
Because
yeah, okay. What's on
like,
tomorrow? Okay,
what are you
okay.
missing out on, man? What are you missing out on? Like,
Nothing.
it's nothing. Everyone just talks about nothing and keeps each other engaged over nothing. And I feel like that's probably
Yeah,
one of the biggest pitfalls of social media. No matter how connected we are, we're just
yeah.
so disconnected lately,
Yeah,
man. And
it's addictive, dude.
it is.
Like that's the thing. Is like while I was waiting for you to like you said you're having dinner. I was like kind of waiting. I was just kind of scrolling through Twitter, just like I was just watching and just kind of mindlessly. And I was just sort of like I got a few notifications and I just like instantly reply and then I just
Yeah,
start going
yeah.
back to scrolling. It's like oh yeah okay. Nothing's happening. Like there's nothing going on here other than I'm just like looking for the next shit post to just like troll somebody. But even then, it's just yeah, it's just like nothing's going on, really.
And
It's
it's such an empty sort of connection. It's an empty connection,
Yeah.
especially like I know people that comment on other people's stories or whatever, and like they don't like the person, but they just maintain a fake
Yeah,
relationship,
yeah, yeah. Save
and they
face.
can because there's no visual tell on their face
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
or tone
yeah,
in their voice
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you can
yeah,
maintain a fake friendship for the sake of maintaining a fake friendship, and there's no cue to say, "Hey, man,
yeah.
what's up? Like,
What's going
do you
on?
even like me?"
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you know, I think
Uh,
we're so keen to avoid confrontation that
yeah.
from what we learn from confrontation as a species, we're sort of we're sort of losing that. Like our parents learned
Mm,
who to avoid. Um, you know, you learn to pick up social cues, but I feel like we've
yeah, yeah,
lost
yeah,
that as the generations go by, and it sort of comes back full circle to what we are talking about with
yeah.
society being so scared of each other, and thinking that every second person on the street corner is a pedophile.
Yeah.
But
It's like, who
there's
are
no
you talking to?
interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how many neighbors do you know? You know, I think I know like three in my
I
whole
mean,
street.
I live in an apartment. I think I've seen like the people next to me once, and then like we've kind of said hi and like, haha, next door neighbors. That's about
Yeah,
it.
it's really fucked up, man. Like we literally live like steps away from people, and we don't know
Yeah,
their
yeah.
names. We don't know like if they need sugar sometimes. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like
Just like,
it's we're
tuk,
just
tuk,
such a
tuk.
disconnected
Hey, I need some
society.
sugar.
Like
Give me
what
some
happened to
sugar.
that?
Yeah,
What
what
happened to that,
happened to
man?
that?
Like you
Asking a
scratch
neighbor
my
for
back, I
sugar.
scratch your
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like if I owned my own house and I
Yeah.
didn't know my neighbors, like I'd be worried to go on
Yeah.
holiday thinking that maybe my neighbor's going to break in because they know I'm on holiday. Like we're back in the day, you
You're
used to
just
be
like,
like,
wait a
hey
minute.
Jim, I'm going on
Yeah, yeah.
holidays. You mind watching the
What up,
house?
bro?
Yeah, here's the keys. Water the plants while I'm gone. You know, and just be a
Yeah,
given and
yeah,
just be
yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Because when Jim goes on holiday, I'm doing that for Jim.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Just keeping
So
maintenance, keeping an eye on things.
yeah, so I guess if I was to promote anything, it'd be to be
Yeah,
more
yeah.
social in a real way, in a real human
Mm,
way. And put your phone down and instead of texting someone for 6 weeks and go meet up with them, go have a
yeah,
coffee,
yeah.
just talk, just ring him on the fucking phone and talk. You know
Actually,
what I mean,
yeah,
man?
having like even having a conversation over Messenger, right? Or like the video, like the phone call version of Messenger. Like I've had plenty of conversations where it's just like it's actually kind of okay, like it's good, it's nice. Like
Yeah,
even what we're doing now, it's just like it's engaging. I'm interested. It's like there's
yeah.
stuff
And you know what,
talking
man?
about.
It's ingrained into our genetics in a way. It's human nature to interact. This like we wouldn't have developed speech
Yeah,
if we didn't need it.
without
And
communicating.
you know what? Like it feels good while you do it. Like why do you think people go out so much? Like aside from
Oh yeah, yeah,
their
yeah,
own motivations like
yeah, yeah.
drugs and drinking and
Picking up chicks.
escaping life, like you're there just to socialize,
Yeah, it's
you
all
know.
it's all they
And
do.
people always, if you go to the Melbourne nightlife tonight, you'll see every place packed. And it's like,
Yeah.
why don't you do this every day? Why don't you talk to people face to face as much as you can?
I guess it gives them an outlet or like it kind of locks your mind into that spot where it's like I'm going out, I want to have fun, and I'm gonna like meet people and talk to people. Like you kind of like in that zone,
Yeah.
right? Or it's like it's always been like, oh, if you're in a club or you're a bar, you're kind of approachable, right? It's like a setting where it's sort of like
Yeah, and
you
you can
don't
sort of
know
you blame
people,
everything on drunkenness.
yeah, you can kind of like see and meet people and like openly talk to them and I guess like on the street, right? It's I guess that's a bit different or it's a bit weird.
Yeah,
Like even online, right? I find it very hard to approach certain people or like talk to them, right? Like let's say if like I think someone's kind of cool on Twitter and then I send them a message, depending on their personality, it's just like if they don't know me or I have no kind of mutual friends, then I'm like I won't really be able to start a friendship
to
with them.
click, yeah. But like, why not, man? Just do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're so engaged in knowing someone that knows someone that
Yeah, yeah,
our
yeah, yeah.
friend groups are becoming smaller.
It's
You
it
know?
it's such a like a friend circle, a friendship circle in like the gaming or like so I've been following competitive gaming in OCE for quite a while and what I've noticed it is there's a really close circle or like friendship group that kind of seems to run the competitive scene,
Yeah,
or like you know you've got your popular people. So like there's like casters, like group own, like organization owners, team owners, stuff like that. People with status and
yeah,
authority, and so they're kind of like the cool people. And then there's like all the other people, like the fans, and then like aspiring players. They're kind of like outcasted a bit, and they all want to get in. So like if you want to get in, like you have to impress them, or you have to be a
yeah,
certain way. And it's sort of like, but I want to be my way. Like, I want to be myself, and I want to
yeah.
get in, but I can't because
You,
like
yeah,
I pissed off someone that doesn't like me, and then now they're talking shit to their group, and now
yeah. No, I
that's it for
understand that
me.
completely, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, like I just feel like life is more than hollow experiences
Oh
with
yeah.
others,
Yeah.
and like we're people are scared of emotion. People are scared of disappointment, sadness, fear, but
Yeah.
like we're put on this earth to, I feel like we're put here to experience that. I
Yeah.
mean, what if this is the only place in the universe where we experience like emotions?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like if we die and there is another place,
Yeah.
what if it's emotionless and like
Yeah. Because
this
you're
is
not
what
gonna
we're here
die.
for? Yeah, like there's nothing to fear.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I
You
just
don't
feel like
grow.
you need to have uncomfortable situations to grow. And I've made the best of
Yeah.
friends being in an uncomfortable situation, like being like stuck in a room with them or something for whatever reason, and be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
"Hey, man,
You have to
like we're in
talk
this
to them.
together."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like oh, I
Like,
actually have to
oh
talk to you.
shit. Oh shit. This is my
Yeah,
biggest fear.
you know. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's really
Well,
tough to be social in this day and age.
Well, I remember, like, for instance, like you kind of knew like who I was back then, and I was played a lot of video games, like I smoked a lot, I was partying quite a bit at that point, but at the same time, I was really like in my shell, like I didn't know who
Yeah,
I was, I wasn't confident, and it was sort of like talking to people was hard. Like that was the thing, is like actual face-to-face conversations, like meeting people and talking to them, like especially going out and partying. Like I would always just kind of stick to my friends, and if they were doing like other stuff, then it was just like I didn't want to go up to someone and be like, "Hey, what's going on? How you doing?"
yeah,
Like I was very very introverted. So
yeah,
so gaming for me was like something where I could meet someone online and then just start typing to them, and then it's just like it's much easier to kind of just have that
yeah. And
interaction.
you had that wall though, that constant wall.
Yeah, or it made it less, or like there was like a less chance that I would be aware of like awkwardness or something, or like it
Yeah,
was less of a chance to make me feel self-conscious, or like all these kind of like negative emotions. So I guess it's like in a way it's like cheating, for like
yeah. And I
for
guess
social social stuff.
you also have a chance to end it if you don't enjoy it
Yeah,
initially,
yeah, yeah.
and
Just don't
and
reply.
yeah, and you lose that sort of chance to like you're stuck there now. Let's give it a try,
Yeah.
and it's like
Yep.
you've scratched the surface of a person, you don't like it, and you haven't even got 3 pages into their story yet.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're like
You know what I
next.
mean? It's like Netflix. Like social life has turned into Netflix, like with Instagram and Facebook. It's like you just sometimes you got to pick up a book, man, and not see the cover.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just read the whole thing before you make a
Yeah,
judgment. Um,
yeah. So I don't know, man.
well, that's the thing is like, and so I was always afraid of proper social interaction. Where where I've made really good friends, but I didn't really know how I made them. It just kind of happened. Like, you just meet someone and you're just friends with
Yeah,
them. But I always wanted to be, be able to talk to people, or, be confident, all these other things. And that uncomfort and like those insecurities pushed me to start trying, like, put myself in more situations where I would have to talk to people. Like, even just like the current job I'm at where I have to talk to people as I'm at a hotel, it's just it's just like putting yourself in that situation where you have to make conversation with someone, and you don't know anything about them, and it's just like you're in that scenario and you're meeting people, and I
yeah,
think it's really good because just talking to people and understanding them, making them feel comfortable, it's like it's good, it's nice, like
yeah.
you
It's a
don't do
great.
that
I
in
mean,
online.
it feels human, man. It
Yeah,
feels
yeah,
human.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, and I guess it's sort of maybe attributed to like we can't really blame ourselves as millennials growing up.
Are we
We were sort of
millennials?
Or I am, I think so.
Am
Are you?
I? I
I'm
don't know. I don't
94.
know. I don't know what like the terms are.
I
I'm
think you
just
are.
I'm
I think
92.
I think you're good. I think
So
you're in the
is that a
club.
millennial? All right.
Yeah,
What's
you love
after?
it. Do you like
Could I
smashed
be a
avocado?
boomer? I do. I love smashed avocado.
Yeah, man, you're a
I
millennial.
had it, I had it today. What? So if I'm not a millennial, then I just don't like smashed
Yeah,
avocado. It's like
that's the
we'll
thing.
start doing surveys on non-millennials, and they're just like, no, no, smashed
Yeah, no
avocado is.
smashed avocado. No, I need a house instead.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, people
Um,
that's one thing that I okay, no, the house thing, I don't get it, right? I've never, and obviously I think this is a personal thing, and if you want to get a house, get a fucking house. Just go
yeah,
do it,
yeah,
whatever. But my whole like thing about getting a house is that if you haven't done like much in your life and then you want to go get a house, then it doesn't make sense. It's like maybe it's sort of like those milestones that are programmed in us, where it's just like get a job, get a house, get married, have kids.
yeah,
That's that's the dream, right? But it's like at what point do you spend time figuring out who you are, like what you're passionate about, or like go see the world, or I don't know, just I guess
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Look, I don't know, man. I feel like it's sort of a continuous growth. I mean, I'm 26 now, and I still don't really know
yeah.
who I am, or like I know who I am more than I did
Yeah, yeah,
when
yeah,
I was
yeah, yeah,
20.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But I really don't like. I don't want to. I don't know if I'm ready to settle for the way I am now.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't even know if it's the thing. Like, if you're even meant to settle for the way you are now, and like just be this Greg forever.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
go
yeah,
to
yeah,
work
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
talk to that person, have a beer at six
yeah,
o'clock every night,
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and not meditate or delve into spirituality in any sort of way, or not
yeah,
just go on a
yeah,
holiday nowhere
yeah,
with a backpack. Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but I feel like the not knowing, it's sort of again part of being human.
yeah.
And emotions like anxiety and things like that um, are natural to sort of prepare you for the rest of your life.
Hmm.
And I guess even work, like, a lot of people say, oh, do something that earns you good money, do
Hmm.
something that gets you promoted in 3 years, or like the
Yeah,
other end of
yeah,
the
yeah, that.
spectrum is like, do something you love, do something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And I feel like growing up, we've had so many options in our lives. Like
Hmm.
our parents have sort of, well, most of our parents, I
Yeah.
guess, have sort of given us the opportunity to be whoever we want to be,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
do whatever we want to do, and it sort of shows that uncertainty compared to their generation.
Hmm.
With people staying home longer than usual, up into their 30s, because you've got
Oh
that sort of,
yeah.
you've sort of got the opportunity to explore the world and sort of find yourself, but at the same time, like maybe I feel like sometimes we have too much freedom, um,
Yeah.
and, and too much choice, um, which
Yeah.
isn't a bad thing, but
It's
you
not.
can sort of see it both ways.
Well
I
then.
mean, like our parents, for instance,
Yeah.
or not even our parents, maybe it's like whatever generation.
Hmm.
Um, they finished school and they picked up a trade, for instance, and from now till then they've been a plumber forever, and like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
who
yeah,
they
yeah.
are, and they've accepted it, and they've bought the house, and they've had the kids, and they've had the mortgage. Um, Whereas now, like I could be a plumber for a week and be like, I'm getting
Yeah,
a
yeah.
phone, and I'll go do something else.
Been there, done that. All
Yeah,
right, move on to the
and you're
next
sort of
job.
stuck in a sort of a purgatory of choices.
Yeah.
So I do feel that it's awesome that we have so much opportunity in life, but I feel like our generation, especially, we're very reluctant to stick to something
Yeah.
just in case. And
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
it
yeah.
goes
Not
back to the social
sure what's going on.
it goes back to the social thing. It's like, oh, should I meet up with this person in real life and have a real relationship with them? Then what if I don't like them?
Yeah.
So just in case, I better just keep it
Oh,
small.
dude, I've had some pretty messy online relationships. I gotta say, like,
Mm.
um, I've had some messy real life relationships as well.
Yeah, yeah,
But I think the biggest issue for online relationships with me is that it was the fact that I just didn't really meet them. Um, and it was just like So I'd be talking to them about stuff online. So, on the messenger, type, or, even if for the ones that played video games, I'd play video games with them and we'd be on Discord. So we'd be like, chatting to each other as well, slowly finding out stuff about each other. But then like every single one of my online relationships got to a point where I was like, I need that physical side of the relationship. I'm not talking about like sex or anything. It's just more
Mm.
like
It's
meeting
that
meeting
connection.
someone, yeah, meeting someone, seeing their like you were saying, is like seeing their expression, seeing like how they sound, like do I like them in person compared to online? Because that you can't tell like what
You
someone's
can't.
like.
Yeah.
You cannot tell. Like I met someone recently and she told me like you seem so much different in real life than online because you seem so like cocky online and you seem like massive dickhead. And then as soon as I met you in real life, you're so different, and I'm like really surprised. I was like, oh, really? Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. But I guess that's a defense mechanism in a way. It's like this is how I think I should act online to
Yeah. Well,
portray
it's
myself.
I guess it's like a sort of like an avatar phenomenon where
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
this is who I want to be.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
but the problem is people these days want to be what they're not instead of
yeah,
embracing what they are,
yeah,
building on yourself as a person you are.
yeah.
Um, if you're shy and timid, then
You don't have to be.
you don't have to be
Yeah.
the opposite.
Online,
Be
yeah.
yourself, and if it takes you a couple of times before you open up to someone,
Mm.
then take those couple of times. You
Yeah.
know, don't give people the impression that don't feel like you have to be like a certain stereotype in life. And it's
Mm.
something that's been drilled to us our whole lives, I feel. But I don't think a lot of people listen to it. Like, just be yourself, man.
That is like it's really good. Like being yourself is the best thing that you can do because
Mm,
if you follow that path, I think that's where you're going to find the most happiness. Because if
yeah,
even if you like fill the void with money, success, like whatever it is in life, if you don't know who you are and like what you want to be doing, it's just like you're going to get to that wall and just be like, what am I doing? Like, who am I? Like, what the fuck have I done? What have I,
yeah,
like, who
man.
are the people who I've stepped on to get here? And what was the point? Like, why am I, huh?
Yeah, you see a lot of old people who are close to dying. They always say life's too short, and money doesn't matter. And, you
Yeah, yeah,
imagine being 9 years old
yeah.
and winning $1 million. Like, what's the fucking point, man?
You've got a lot of money. There's no end game to money.
There's
There's
no
there's no
U-Haul at
end
the back of
game.
a hearse.
There's no U-Haul at the back of. Oh my god.
You know, you can't take it with you, man. We're all going to the
I
same
mean,
hole.
I mean that's what the Egyptian gods did, right?
Yeah, and
Fucking
well, who knows? We might get
bury
up
their money.
there.
Yeah, just take all their money and just like, look, this is
Yeah,
what I did on Earth.
yeah,
And
that's
they're
right.
like,
So
oh well, you did really well. Congratulations. Now trade it all in for a slice of bread. I don't know.
yeah, and it's just funny because apart from being reading into the history books, the biggest memory is based off the relationships you have with your kids, with your
Yeah,
family, with
yeah.
your friends, and like if you really want to be immortal, then be remembered for something that makes you immortal. Don't buy something that
Mm,
rusts and or someone knocks down and builds townhouses on.
yeah.
Like, is it really worth sort of your whole life on materialism when relationships, I guess, is the key to sort of immortality.
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, like memory. Like I think the biggest thing is like memory of someone or your relationships or your past relationships, future relationships that does immortalize someone because it's like
Mm,
if you know who someone is or it's just like even just the thought of you, right? It's just like it doesn't like you won't ever die in my mind just because
yeah,
I know you. It's just like the same thing. It's just valued friendships and I guess I found that now that I'm not like or I'm gaming more or like I was gaming more, it's much harder to find those like genuine friends that like just stick with you for life kind of
yeah,
thing,
man.
you know? It's
And I
like
feel that that's in real life as well. Like I'm saying, like going back to that social aspect that we were
yeah.
speaking about. Like I'd love to just make a new friend here and there. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
but I just feel like we're so enclosed in our own circles, that we're not
Yeah, yeah.
open. We're too like
Yeah, it's closed.
there's a fear of branching out.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess another thing is like we're all people, man. At the end, like you're a person, I'm a
I
person.
am, yes.
Like I used to have this fear when I used to go out that
Yeah.
every guy that was out wanted to start a fight with me.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
I
your
can tell
aura's
you
too big, man. You're trying to
it's a
like
misconception. I
get in
haven't
their
got
grill.
into a
Yeah.
single fight,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
That's good.
but like I've just been like, oh, I better not look at that guy wrong,
Yeah, yeah, okay.
or better not talk to that girl who's next to that guy just in case it's
Yeah.
he's gonna say something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like you just put yourself in his shoes. Like he's just another dude like you that's just
Yeah.
out having fun, and you don't really walk into constant, I guess, anarchy and
Mm.
fights and things like that in the
Yeah.
street. So why would it be different for me?
Everyone's pretty civil.
Yeah, so that was like a misconception I had about. I sort of worked through it in my
Yeah.
own mind, and then eventually I started going out and like putting it to practice and just like going up to some random dude, be
Yeah.
like having a drink, like, hey
Yeah.
man, how you going? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
everyone was like
yeah, yeah,
really
yeah,
friendly, like,
yeah.
yeah, man, what's up?
Hey, dude.
I swear one guy bought me a drink just because I said
Yeah.
hey to him. He's like, oh, I'm waiting for my mate and I've been stuck here. Hey, let me buy
Yeah,
you a drink.
yeah,
We'll just
yeah,
have a
yeah,
drink
yeah,
till he
yeah,
gets here.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah, fucking oath.
like people are great, and
Nice.
we shouldn't try to avoid each other because we're worried that we won't be socially accepted.
Yeah,
And
that
in
is a
the
big
case that
worry.
we are, like, then that's just a boat that you missed good reason, you
Well,
know?
yeah, what's the worst that can happen, right? So it's like if you do go up to someone, is it like that fear of rejection or
I
like
think it
failure,
is,
right? It's
man.
like
I think
even if that like even if they're like go away, it's just like, well, I tried. Who
you
fucking gives a
tried. That's
shit?
right.
Like, look at all these other people that are here as well, right? It's just like,
Yeah, and
hey, fuck
I
off.
feel
Hey,
like
fuck off.
social media
Oh.
is sort of the safeguard for if you do get rejected. It's like, well, I didn't waste my physical time. I
Mm,
said hey, no one replied, whatever. I'll go to the next person.
yeah.
Whereas in real life, like you feel it, you feel the
Yeah, yeah.
emotion, you feel your confidence dwindle, and then you meet someone else, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
shot right
Yeah,
back up.
just like, whoa, this guy's cool. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
like we don't have to hide behind walls to be good people to each other.
Yeah.
You don't have to test the
Yeah,
water.
yeah.
Just jump in, man.
It's much better when you make someone smile in real life than
Then
across a
haha on
yeah.
Instagram.
Lol, lamau
Yeah,
ruffle,
like I don't even know they're actually
ruffle now.
laughing or they're actually on the floor. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
my
I want to
favorite
see someone on the floor.
my favorite thing is when they like capitalize the ha 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 ha, ha and then just like
Yeah, it's like
imagining them be
maybe
like
they are
ha
laughing.
ha ha ha.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they're on the floor just laughing their ass off. That's what they are.
Yeah.
Oh
So
man.
I've been sort of using the law of attraction lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this year's the first year of my life that I decided to write my goals down.
Oh cool. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and like so every night I might just think about what it's like to live like with it when those goals come to fruition. So like for instance, like a
Mm.
promotion, for instance, like sort of picture myself in a
Yeah. Yeah.
position,
Yeah.
picture what the emotions associated with it feels
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
and I just spend like maybe 10 minutes a night just going over each of my goals, and going over it. And it's surprising when I was
Okay.
writing them, because I didn't write like get promotion. I wrote I want a promotion,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
almost in a
Yeah.
way asking, and I almost felt guilty writing more on that list,
Yeah.
which is almost silly because it's like
Yeah.
it's just my list, like,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah. It's
writing
like
my I want.
doesn't mean anything in any way other
Yeah,
than
and
just
I'm
to
like, I got
yourself.
to like 5 things, and I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe I should just like wait these five and then
It's,
write
it's
five
too
more.
much. It's too much. Yeah.
And then I'm like, who the fuck am I? Like, whose tax am I paying here, man? Like, it's my own shit. So I ended up writing like 20 different things.
That's
And I was like,
good. That's
fuck it.
good.
And then
Yeah.
I've sort of, with them in mind, I've sort of like tailored my life and like sort of monitored how these goals are progressing. And like some of them have happened like instantly, and like others are like happening as we speak. Like for instance, I
Yeah.
wanted
Yeah.
to become a bit more social, and that's
Yeah.
why I'm pushing people to sort of get out there and meet each other. And I
Yeah.
guess one
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
would be like this podcast, for instance. Like,
Yeah.
I sort of like reached out to you, whereas I
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
wouldn't at a different stage. But because I
Yeah.
want
Yeah. Yeah.
to sort of have that connection with people, I'm like, fuck it, man. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna grab life by the balls and
Fuck, talk
just
about
follow,
shit.
just do it, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like even going
Sick.
out with people, like I think going back to that fear of rejection, like being the person that organizes an event, organize drinks or whatever,
Yeah.
you're always worried that no one's gonna come.
Yeah.
Uh, but
What's gonna
people
happen?
are like me, man. They just want to hang out.
Yeah.
And like, so I have been organizing sort of drinks or like catch ups, and
Yeah, yeah.
surprisingly, no one said no yet. So,
Yeah, right. Okay,
and
yeah, they're
if
keen
they
to
do
do
say
stuff.
no, they do an alternative, like almost instantly, like I can't do
Yeah.
tonight, man, but
Yeah.
tomorrow night I'm
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean? And I
Yeah,
also had
sick.
another friend. He actually, I invited him out the other day, and
Mm.
he was saying like, "Man, I didn't really do much this weekend. Like, I'm so glad today. Like, thanks so much for inviting me. Like, at least I can say like
Oh yeah,
I
cool.
fulfilled my Sunday a little bit and sort of felt like I've done something." And it's like I feel like that when people invite me out. So like, why shouldn't I
Yeah,
do it for
yeah,
other
yeah,
people?
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm
Yeah.
making people feel good
Yeah.
while achieving my own goals.
Oh my god.
And
Oh
I
my
guess
god,
that's where
that's amazing. I love
that's
it.
where the passion is,
Yeah,
man. Like,
yeah, yeah.
that's where the passion is like
Cool.
just share yourself with others in an unsexual way, unless you want to be sexual.
Share yourself. Yeah, just
In
share
a
share yourself
psychological
around.
sense,
Yeah, share. Remember to wear mind protection or some kind of protection. Is
wear a
catch
Jamaican hat.
catch the wrong ideas or anything like
Yeah,
that.
you want to catch feels.
Yeah, catch. Yeah. Oh man. Fuck.
Yeah, dude. So
That's so good. No, like that's really interesting. Writing down 5 goals and being like, huh, wait, is this too many goals?
yeah, am I
Like, and
asking
then
too much?
yeah, just kind of like, well, yeah, you should be able to like pilot your own destiny, right? It's just
Yeah,
like
that's
I
right.
can I can take all of this stuff. Like this is, I guess it's like self improvement, right? It's just kind of like, well, how far do I want to improve? And
Yeah,
I honestly believe that you can literally just keep going. Like there is no real ceiling to improvement because there's so many different skills or like so much knowledge that you can learn. There's so much different stuff you can do in the world. And then
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like being bored is like, well, you're just not thinking about stuff, you
yeah.
know?
You can relax when you're dead, man. Like,
Yeah, true. Oh man, I always,
enjoy life.
I almost feel bad about like complaining about stuff. I'm like, I'm trying a lot harder to not complain about things, or like, and it's more like focus on stuff that I can do or should be doing. Like,
Write it down, man. I want to be
yeah,
more focused.
yeah, no, exactly. Like that's the
You know,
thing is like that goal setting right there focuses your mind because the fact that you're writing it down and you're thinking about it, it's like this is
and you read it every
what I
day, and you're
want to
like, yeah,
do. Yeah, and then yeah, your mind slowly like hones in on that, and then it just
yeah.
like it eventually it happens. Um, that's the thing is like having opportunity paralysis. Oh, it's just like if you sit down and you're gonna play video games, right? If you decide that you're playing video games and it's like I'm gonna play for 8 hours,
Yeah,
that's different than just kind of like going,
mindlessly playing.
I guess I'll play some video games, like
Yeah,
and then you play a game and you're like, I guess I'll play another one,
and you play for 8 hours.
another one, yeah, and it's just like you haven't decided, and then you just kind of like, oh shit, it's dark outside. Fuck, I was like, I could have done all this stuff, and then it's just like you feel
You
kind
feel
of,
bad.
yeah,
You feel bad. You feel bad for yourself. You're like, fuck, I fucked
yeah.
Greg's day up, man.
Sorry, Greg. I didn't mean to fuck
Yeah,
your day
yeah,
up. My God, I just wanted to play video games, fill the void.
yeah. And I guess another thing. So like when you think about a memory, right?
Yeah.
It's almost exactly the same, or it is exactly the same in your mind as thinking about something that hasn't happened yet.
Oh
Like
yeah.
just
Yeah.
picture yourself like getting into a Lamborghini,
Hmm.
right? Now
Oh,
picture yourself
that's
getting into
dope.
your own car, right?
I don't have a car.
Well, if you have a car,
I'm getting into my longboard, I guess.
get onto your longboard, all right?
I'm
But
pretty happy with it, honestly.
the manifestation memory and the
Yeah.
manifestation that um,
Fantasy.
fantasy
Yeah.
is exactly the same in your mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 It's just different. Oh,
do
yeah.
you
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
it?
Okay.
Do you
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you manifest
Yeah.
both, but
Yeah. Yeah.
one
Yeah.
has happened and one hasn't happened, but your mind doesn't
Yeah.
know the difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Oh
just
my
picture yourself
God.
achieving, man.
Fuck. I'm just
And all of
gonna.
a sudden you sort of you tick those boxes and get that mindset that I'm already there, man.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I've already
yeah,
got
yeah,
that
yeah.
promotion, I already got that car, I already bought that house. feel what it's like to be inside of it and picture it.
I'm just like walking around in my house that I don't want yet.
Yeah, but keep it in your mind, man.
No,
If
I
whenever you
know,
want it, it's
yeah.
there.
Well,
So
I think lately I've been having a lot more. I guess my most recent thing is like I'm trying to think about how I can impact the gaming and esports region in Australia in a
mm,
positive way without tearing anybody down.
yeah,
Like recently, like I don't know if you've kept up with this or anything, but recently, a lot of professional players in Australia for League of Legends have actually been picked up by North American teams. So a lot of our talent is like actually going to the LCS now. So it's
yeah,
amazing. And because of the way the structure is set out in Australia, there's no like clear way to get into the professional league
yeah,
because
right,
the semi-professional league and the amateur scene just is almost non-existent, and so we
yeah,
don't have any talent. Like we're not fostering any talent, and so all these like random people just rocked up into the pro league, and like the broadcast for it I think was really unacceptable. Like I just think like there was a lack of professionalism. It didn't seem like people cared.
mm,
Like the games were okay, you know, all this other stuff. Like I could write a massive, like I was compiling a list of all the things that was wrong with this broadcast, and I kind of almost wanted to just get on to something like this and then just be like, this is shit, this is bad, like you need to do better, blah 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 blah, all this stuff. And I'm
yeah,
kind of thinking like that's kind of the wrong way to go about it. I think
yeah,
like really
yeah.
just digging into someone, even though I would really love to dig into them because I have a lot of resentment in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
area. But that's the thing is I'm learning to like it's okay, like let go of that shit. Like you're not gonna get anywhere by being angry, right?
That's right. Like focus on what you can do in a positive light.
Yeah, yeah,
Because if you keep that negativity and you push it out to the world, you're just giving out more negativity. And
yeah, yeah,
in this scenario, we need positivity. We need, okay, this way isn't working. So how's Oren going to make a way that does work
yeah,
or pave the way for that?
yeah.
Yeah. So instead of don't fuel the problem, fuel the solution.
Fuel the solution. Ooh. Yeah, no, I like it. Well, I've noticed a lot that people are jumping on board to have arguments or like there's this big thing of like this is like wrong and this is bad and like this and like
Yeah,
it's
and they just want a platform to get it out.
yeah, but and I think it's like that's why I've just completely avoid arguments online now. It's because if you get invested into an argument, like this is the thing, like even in my rank game today, like after like we lost, like the support player was just literally like flaming our entire team. Like I think at
Yeah.
one point he was like, all you guys, I don't know how any of you guys made it to adulthood, let alone this elo, and I bet none of you know how to make noodles. And I was just like,
Oh, nice.
whoa, sick burn, buddy. Damn. Really
Yeah,
got me.
yeah,
And I just sat there, just kind of like talking to him about this, like about this stuff. And we were just like going back and forth, just bantering with each other, just absolute uselessness. And then, and then you just like literally criticize me and like telling me like that, oh, I'm going off at someone. I'm like, no, I'm not mad. Like, I don't give a shit. And then he was just like, no, yeah, you are. Like, oh my God. And I'm just like, what are we talking about? And it's just,
yeah, yeah.
we're not
Look,
getting anywhere.
I think the problem also is that some people just need to get to a certain point in their mentality on their
Yeah.
own.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can sort of push the idea, but
Yeah.
um, and I can talk from experience. I mean, I was a
Yeah.
pretty. It was never my fault. You know, it was your fault.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but you sort of realize that, okay, maybe it was his fault, but what aspect of it was your fault?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
bet you if you just ask yourself that, you just be like, all right,
Yeah.
maybe I didn't gank bot when I was in the area when I could,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's why he died. And like, then you sort of
Yeah.
like, oh, wait, I've attributed it to this just as much as he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though
Yeah.
he dived the
Yeah. Yeah.
tower,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe if I was there to help dive,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then you sort
Yeah.
of think,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
like,
It's like, oh wait,
all
I
right,
could have done that better.
I could have
Yeah.
impacted. And
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
and it's the same with real life.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Definitely.
for instance, there was this woman in my office building that
Yeah.
I used to work with,
Yeah.
and we used to walk past this homeless person every day, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Fuck, it's disgusting. Like, I'm sick. Like, can't the taxpayers do something? Can't the Centrelink do
Yeah.
something?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm saying it's disgusting in the sense that this person has to live on the street
Oh yeah,
because
okay, yeah, yeah.
the government isn't doing anything about
Yeah,
it,
yeah, 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 okay.
right? And and every day we walk past him, and I gave him $1 or $2, whatever's in my pocket. And after about a month, he had gone.
Oh,
And a couple of weeks later, I actually bumped into him because he knew me at that stage because I give him a
okay.
couple of
Yeah,
bucks every
yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah.
And he said to me, I go, "Hey man, how you going?" "Oh, I actually ended up getting a place. Yeah, like through the donations, like I actually got enough money to get like a room for the night. One of those homeless shelters. Like it's like $25 or $30 a night." He's like, "So
Okay.
I'm like, oh, okay, no worries." And I went back to her and I told her that.
Yeah.
Still upset about the government. I'm like, all you had to do was reach into your pocket and put some coins in
Oh
your box.
shit! Damn, that's
You know, like stop
yeah.
thinking about the
Mm,
big picture and just think about how am
yeah,
I
yeah.
gonna make the world a better place? Like how am I gonna
Implicit.
wake up this morning and
Yeah,
spread peace? Like if you want
yeah,
peace, then spread peace.
yeah. I
You
guess it's
know,
like, yeah, if that's what you want, like, what are you doing about it?
like
Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
that's a big thing in life. Like
yeah.
stop looking externally and start looking within.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's fuck. That's goddamn. That is some good shit.
yeah,
Definitely,
man.
definitely, definitely. You're gonna get a lot from looking internally about stuff. Like that is very profound actually. Because it's always like if there's something that's happened that is wrong, you can always look at yourself and what you could have done, and it's like
Mm.
then you improve on things. You can learn what to do
Yeah,
better because like if there was a
mate, that's
mistake,
life.
and then you take responsibility, even if it's not your fault, right? You'd be like, could I have changed this in some way, or could I have done something better, or can I do something better? And it's just like you kind of learn something from that as well. And it's like all of a
Yeah, man.
sudden, this negative situation is valuable to you
And
in some way.
you grow as a
Yeah,
person,
just like
and
oh.
and you bring yourself up and the people around you.
Yeah,
You know,
that is actually one thing that I've recently started to notice. Is that when I was growing up, there was always people who didn't seem like, or there was more people who didn't value someone's success, and like obviously there was like I had friends who supported me and all this stuff, but I'd never really come across like people who I would be like working with that were just like, I want to see you succeed. Like, I want
yeah,
you to be the best person that you can be. And like, I'm just,
because everyone's so focused on themselves.
yeah. Well, that's the thing is, I want to see like the thing because you want to live by people's happiness rather than their sadness, and
That's right. Yeah,
it's because it's just sort of like it, especially if people are trusting and then they also have good intentions, then it's sort of like if your friend succeeds, then you also succeed because it's sort of like they're doing well, and
yeah.
then
They
if you
bring you
start
up
doing
with
well,
them.
yeah, it's just like everyone's like that's that, and
Yeah,
I can relate this to the gaming like our gaming industry because it's very like social circly and it's sort of like our small group of people come up and then all these other people are just kind of like we can't get there because we're not
yeah.
growing with the right people.
Those people at the top need to be mentored and say,
Yeah,
"This is how I did it. Let me," and
yeah.
reach down like the hand of God,
Yeah,
man.
they just like get the fucking like the water jug and they start like, here, have some water,
Yeah,
have some grow, my pretties. Yes,
yeah.
grow.
Open the gates.
Yeah, fucking goddamn, open the gates of
Like,
OCE. God damn it.
yeah.
Oh my god, and anywhere really, like in anything.
And it's funny because when you ask people, write me a list of what you're most grateful for.
Mm,
9 times out of 10, you'll see friends on there.
yeah, okay. That
Yet
is definitely.
every time your friend is succeeding, is doing better than you,
Mm,
you take it as, oh, he's just showing
mm,
off. I'm
mm,
not good enough. Um, that's not actually a good job. It's just a shit job at the moment. It's all like you make
mm.
excuses for yourself,
Yeah, yeah.
but you love these people enough to put them on your gratitude list. So treat them like that,
Yeah. I guess it's
you know?
justifying, it's kind of justifying that insecurity of like, oh, this person's successful and I'm not, and why do they deserve to be successful and I'm not?
Yeah.
I guess
And I tell you very much so that being a good person to people and being a supportive person to people when they're low and when they're high is
Yeah.
very rewarding, and if you do believe in karma, it will come back around.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
if I win Tats Lotto and I get a big estate, there's going to be a gaming den and a spot for you in it. You know what I mean, man?
Yes, yes. All this time it's been worth it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like I hope it's vice versa, but
Yeah, no, of course.
like that's how I say. Like if I was to come into enormous sum of money and would be able to assist others, that'd be what I do with my time, man. Like, hey,
I
Aaron,
agree.
you got a business
Yeah.
idea? Here's
Yeah,
100
yeah.
grand. Make it happen.
Oh my god, yes.
Make it
Let's
happen. Let me
fucking
know.
go. God damn it.
You
I've
know?
always like that's the thing is I've always thought that if I came into a big amount of money, like I think I could just make dreams happen. I
Yeah.
literally but and like I think I'm pretty much the same. Like I've never really been like big on money, but I've always thought that if I ever had a lot of money, like to the point where it's just like if I can support myself and then I have all this leftover money, I would probably do something with it to help other people.
Yeah. Now, like money is the material object we're using in this conversation.
Yeah,
Just remove money and say everything you
yeah.
said again, and it
Oh,
flows and it works, and you can do it
oh, I
right
can
now,
help
man.
people without money.
You can do it
Ah,
right now, or your mates business, share it. Do you know how
yeah,
many
yeah, yeah,
people
yeah,
on Instagram, on Facebook, that start a YouTube channel or a
yeah,
podcast or anything
yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
and they just put out the feelers and say, "Hey, this is my podcast. Please share
yeah,
it."
yeah,
How
yeah,
many
yeah.
people don't share it, but
Ah,
their friends?
those fucking
Like, how
people.
can it doesn't cost you a dime?
No, I know, I
It doesn't
know.
cost you a fucking dime, man.
I so I'm actually like gonna I've come to terms with my YouTube channel and people not subscribing, and I'm not I'm gonna be one of those huge channels that doesn't advertise their shit because it's sort of
Yeah,
like and this is the big thing for me last year because I actually did have a business or like I started a business called Oceanic Legends and the goal was to make money through streaming. So and I started really focusing on subscribers, viewers, all this shit and it just like my passion just dropped off because it was like
yeah, because it becomes a job,
I'm
man.
only
It
focusing
becomes
on
a
money.
job.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's sort of like now that I actually have a job and I can support myself and I'm not kind of like a slave to like views and all this other stuff. It's like I can make content where I feel like this is what I want to do. I'm enjoying this. Like I'm having fun doing this.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
passionate about this. And it's sort of like I don't measure my success based on the subscribers that I get. And this I probably would if I got a lot of subscribers, but I think it's nice that the fact that I haven't been given like a lot of stuff. Like if I'm gonna make it somewhere, I really have to earn it. Like I have to 110% earn it. Um,
Yeah, look, I feel like the money comes with passion.
yeah, yeah,
Write it down. Be like, I want to be financially comfortable with through my passion.
yeah,
And what should just happen, man?
yeah.
Just watch it happen.
Just watch it happen. Yeah, just
Hey, I'm telling
sit
you right
back,
now,
relax.
write it down. Let's
All
come
right,
back here in a year.
all right. Where's
You
my
show me
book?
like that. Write it down.
All
I want
right,
to see it. Write it
where's
down right
my book? All right, here we go. Pen. Wait, pen. I'm gonna turn my light on.
now. Yeah, that's a scarecrow.
All right, all
All
right.
right, write it down.
All
What
right,
do
I'm
you
gonna
want
write it down.
financially?
Financially, what was the idea? I forgot it.
I want to become financially comfortable
All
through
right.
my passion. But do you
Oh,
want
that is a
comfortable,
that
or do
is
you
a
want
good one.
what do you want? Do you want comfortable, or do you want more than comfortable?
Financially filthy, just
Yeah, write
filthy
it down. I want to
rich.
become
No, I
filthy
like I
rich.
like I like financially comfortable at this stage. I
Okay.
think that's a good. All right,
Yeah, enough to put
all
food
right.
on the plate
Dot
and pay
point.
the rent.
I want. How am I running? So to be financially. I don't know if I spelled that right.
Comfortable.
Comfortable. Up. Run off the page.
That's right. Keep going.
Comfortable through
My passion.
my passion. All right.
Cool. All right. Now
There it
every
is.
night, awesome. Every night, I just want you to read that,
All right.
and for 1 minute or 30 seconds, whatever it takes, just close your eyes and feel it, see it, feel it and see it. The feel part's
Uh,
important. Feel the emotions
yeah, yeah.
associated with it. All right.
Just to like
And
fucking circulate
yeah,
through my body.
with the feeling of being able to sit here with food on your plate, roof
Mm,
over your head,
mm, mm,
because of your passion.
mm.
And in a year's time, my friend, we'll come back
All
together,
right,
and I
all
bet you
right.
that it'll come true.
See what happens. Yeah, no, I mean, there's like a lot of exciting shit happening next month. Like I'm starting a new job
Yeah,
next month at this place called Fortress, and it's like a big gaming venue with it's gonna be like an internet cafe, a restaurant, a bar. There's gonna be like an arena, so like with like seats and
fuck yeah.
like a stage for like the PCs and stuff. And I've essentially been like headhunted to work for them due to like my knowledge in the gaming industry. And
Fuck, I'm already right.
dude, I know, no, I know, and this is the thing. It's one of those things where I would have never been able to predict, but
Yeah,
I knew. It's just like, it's like the reason why I invested myself into the gaming world, because
yeah,
I wouldn't have done this, and I wouldn't have invested so much time if I didn't think that I could do it. Like, because I
that's right.
knew that there
You
was
don't
this
think you can
like,
do it, man. You know you can do it.
yeah,
Don't fucking
yeah,
lie
yeah,
to me.
yeah, yeah. No, I know I can do it. I
You know you
fucking
can.
know I can do it. And then it was at this point where I'd done the streaming thing. I wasn't getting offers for competitive teams for X, Y, and Z reasons. Um, and then I got this job, and I'm like, well, okay, I guess it's like it's not working. I'm happy. I'm content with it. That's all right. I knew this wouldn't work. And then get this phone call. Hey, I'm the general manager from Fortress. Let's have a meeting. I'm like, okay.
Fucking awesome, dude.
And then,
Fucking,
fuck yeah, and then rest is history. So we'll see where that goes.
yeah.
So
Well, I know you do well, man.
I
Really well.
wanna be financially comfortable through my passion, and
Fuck, read that every night, man.
I will. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, in a year's time, who knows what could happen. Um,
Yeah,
but I think the best thing, or like the best um, way that I've been feeling about things lately is, I guess this is kind of a bit like lame to say, but it is like going with the flow of things
yeah,
and accepting failure or accepting success. For instance, like my dad has been working on this film, and he's been working with these Korean guys, and they've been a bit like hard-assed and stuff like that. So he has to kind of change his like attitude and style
yeah,
of working. And he's just kind of going with this like attitude of whatever happens, happens.
yeah,
And it's like if whatever happens, like you just deal with it. Like you don't like anticipate things or try to like
yeah.
think that things will happen.
What's here right now, man? And just like touch your pants or touch your desk. Just
Touch
feel it.
base.
Feel what it feels like. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
real, man. Everything else in your head, it's not real yet. Just
Yeah, yeah,
relax.
yeah, 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 yeah. It is
You
relaxing,
know,
that
let
kind of
like so
stuff.
many people anticipate what it'd be like when the shit hits the fan, and
Yeah.
I'm very guilty of that,
Oh
especially
yeah.
my relationship.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I've had severe anxiety, thinking I'm not good enough,
Oh my
or
God, that happens to me too. Oh my God.
or expecting the worst from a night out,
I thought I was the only
etc.
one.
No,
No,
man. And
yeah,
like
yeah,
I've learned to sort of say to myself, if it happens, it's like, we can't worry about it forever.
yeah.
Like, and you can't deal with it now because it hasn't happened. Let it come. If it
Mm,
happens, then deal with it
mm,
when it's there. Like, you
yeah,
can't make these scenarios in your head as real
yeah,
as a memory
yeah,
when they're not.
yeah.
And
It's
I
not
sort
even
of
a
just like,
memory.
yeah, I sort of like live by that now, man. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
if I do get that odd crop of anxiety pop up, I just feel what's around me and I'm like, okay,
yeah.
this shit's not as real as my pants. So why am I even
It's-
worried about it?
Holy shit. Yeah, no, that's yeah, that's incredibly wise, dude.
Yeah, man.
That's some good shit. Um, I mean, I wish I had heard that years ago, honestly.
So hey, so do I, man.
Yeah,
Trust me.
but I guess
It's taken a long way to get here.
yeah, I guess you've gotten to that point where you've had enough experiences, or you've had a yeah to just get to that point where you're like, well, like I've spent enough time worrying about it. Like,
Yeah.
where's it gonna get me? It's just like, let's focus on what I can do and
And
what's
what's here
there.
and what's real right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, man. But
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
anyways. It's been great, Oren.
Yeah,
And
cool.
I think I'll leave it here before I say
Yeah,
something stupid.
awesome. Dude,
Like
I've fucking man. I mean, I can talk about stuff all day.
we
Like,
could keep going forever.
we didn't even talk about Rocket League, man.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about. I
Fucking
got kicked off the team. Okay.
That's because you went. I mean, oh man, that was a clusterfuck of
Yeah.
fuckery.
Let's tee up a podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, we'll get
Let's do the next one with
Cam
Cam.
Turbulence Turbo on the potty.
Yeah. Awesome, dude.
All right, well, yeah, thanks so much for chatting. Fuck, we got an hour and 10 minutes. That just like literally flew by.
Flew, man. I didn't even see it go. But
I
yeah.
man, all right. Oh, last thing, all right. What would you say to anyone out there a bit of advice for their life? Anyone that
Yeah.
wants to improve themselves.
Well, I guess the main thing is focus on what's there, focus what's real,
Yeah.
write down your goals, visualize, and feel the emotions associated with it, um, and just go outside and talk to someone to their face. Make a new friend. You know what? If
Yeah.
anyone's watching or
Yeah.
listening to this,
Yeah.
here's your homework for the week. Meet someone and make a new friend, and hit her up on Twitter with a photo of your new friend, you and your new friend.
Oh yeah, and then I'll put that in the next one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Okay.
All right, for the next one. All right, we'll see.
All right.
Fuck.
Peace out,
Thank you
everyone.
so much. You've been such a fucking. What people can obviously see why you are the best. Obviously. But yeah, thank you so much. And
Thanks, dude.
yeah, we'll see you next time, guys.
See you next time.
Bye. All right.